Okay, welcome back to Baron's Sunday Roast. I'm just taking my aeroplane for a little whiz. Sort of thing I do on a Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon. I'm going to go sunbathing a bit later, and I just thought I'd take the plane up in VR and have a little whiz around. I might go up to Wales later. Just done a bit of stall recovery and stuff, playing around, So come and have a look at this airfield over here. I'm just flying out of Boscombe Down at the moment. Boscombe Down is behind me, over there somewhere. I haven't got a particularly good view out of a Vulcan bomber, but it's adequate. It does its job, doesn't it? Really. Should be able to see Boscombe soon. Get bored if you fly the same thing all the time, unless you particularly enjoy it. Is that it over there? That could be it over there. Looks like it. Nice. Let's have some power. Love these engines on this aircraft. Look at that. That is wicked, isn't it? For those of you who don't know, or you're too young to remember, Vulcan bomber is a Cold War. I don't think there's any flying anymore. I think there's a few that are owned by companies that raise money to try to keep them flying, but I don't think there's any flying at the moment. Most of them have been scrapped. I think there's a few in museums and things, but I don't think there's any left in flying order. I think the ones that are left are just static display, or at best they can run the engines and taxi up and down the runway, but that costs a fortune in fuel. Absolute fortune. Luckily for me, my fuel's free, and I've got just under half tanks. 4 tanks, 4 engines, and it's completely free. Like I said, I think I'll land, and then I'll go and have a cup of tea, and then I might toozle off up to Wales. Yeah, why not? I could do the Brecon Beacons low level, couldn't I? That sounds like fun. That's something to do on a Sunday afternoon before I go sunbathing on the roof. If you think your children would want to become pilots, X-Plane, well, the X-Plane isn't the best one, but I mean there are flight simulators in VR which are very good, and you can fly all kinds of airplanes that don't exist anymore or are obsolete, and you can fly lots of things that you just wouldn't be able to fly if you went to a flying school. You'd only get to go in a Cessna or something like that, a PA-28 maybe. But yeah, you can learn all the things you need to learn. And this is actually quite an easy airplane to fly. This is a Vulcan bomber. It's a big 4-engine Cold War jet bomber. Let's have a quick look outside. I'm sure you recognise this. Look at that big delta wing thing designed in the 40s, late 40s, after the war. I don't think they came into service until the 50s, something like that. Super aeroplane to fly. They're very good. High altitude, long range bomber. So if we want to go places, it's pretty good. And you can refuel in flight as well. You can do air-to-air refueling. This is something that they don't teach at flying schools. Not normally. Certainly not in Vulcans. I mean, how much would Vulcan be to? Just in theory, if there was one on a public transport survey that you could rent and have an instructor in there with you, I mean, how much would it cost an hour? Come on. Ridiculous amounts of money. Right, there's the runway threshold. We're in a bit tight, so we need to go around to the right a bit, I think. I definitely need a better graphics card. I'm struggling with the settings on this. I have to turn everything right down to get it to run smoothly, and it's not running smoothly at the moment. So I've been tweaking it, and it's not right. So, but I'll tweak it a bit more before I go off to Wales, I think. Yeah, it's stuttering, isn't it? It's just not flying smoothly. This is no good at all. I don't want to give up on this. Okay, let's have some air brakes. Air brakes are extended. I think we're going too fast. Just tends to run a lot smoother, quite close to the ground. But at high altitude it was definitely stuttering a lot, for sure. We're landing a bit fast, we've got 200 on the clock there. We really should be touching down about 170, but it's okay. I think I can cope with it. There we go. Level the wings, kick it straight. We're on. Turn off here, I think. There we go. All good. That was fun. Like I said, I need to play around with my computer settings. The Vulcan bomber. Long since obsolete. I think it went out of service before the Falklands War. And then when the Falklands War happened, they had to cobble some together from spares and get a few working again that they had. And find some crews who could fly them and put it back into service for the raids on the Falkland Islands. From Ascension, and they had to fly 8,000 miles. From Ascension Island to the Falklands and then back. And they had fleet of tankers refueling the aircraft. All good fun, all good history. See you next time, and thank you very much for coming to the Baron's Sunday lunch.